one unlucky day, Milky White stopped giving milk. Sadly, Jack's mother decided that they must sell their faithful cow. The widow said as Jack led Milky White away. On the road to the market, a little man came up to Jack without warning. He asked the boy a riddle.
How many beans make five? Put them in the mouth of him. You are a very smart boy.
He took out 5 beans from his pocket.
I'll give you these beans for your cow.
Jack did not think 5 beans were much to get in exchange for a cow, but the man went on.
If you plant these will go into a stalk that reaches in the sky.
A stalk that reaches in the sky?
That's something.
That's something.
So he put out his hand and took the beans. And the man took Milky White. When Jack went home and showed his mother the beans, she was very upset. You have traded our cow.
You traded a cow for 5 beans?
How will we eat?
How will
we live?
we live?
And she threw the beans out the window. Jack went to bed sad and hungry. When Jack woke up the next morning, he could not believe what he saw. Outside his window was a beanstalk so tall it reached all the way to the sky. Jack took hold of the stalk and started to climb carefully. He climbed and climbed up through the clouds until he reached the top. You weren't here when we were practicing. There he found a road which led to a large castle. Jack was very hungry and he thought he might get some food at the castle. So he walked right up to the door and knocked as hard as he could. When no one answered, Jack pushed the door open with all of his might. Slowly the door opened and walking inside, Jack found himself in a huge kitchen. There a tremendous table was set for breakfast. Jack climbed up on a chair and then pulled himself right up onto the table. Oh, okay. He was standing there looking around when the table started to shake. Jack could hear loud thumping footsteps. The footsteps were so heavy they shook the whole castle. Then a loud, gruff voice boomed out,
B-5-4-4, I smell blood of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread.
Jack trembled with fear. Someone huge and judging from the sound of his voice, mean was coming. There was no time to scramble off the table, so quick as a wink, Jack hid behind a teapot. No sooner was Jack safely out of sight than a tremendous giant stomped into the room. And in his hand he carried a goose. The giant stopped and sniffed.
B-5-4-4, I smell blood of an Englishman. Ha!
Jack was terrified. What would happen to him if the giant caught him? He might never get safely back home. The giant peered around the room looking everywhere. But he did not look behind that teapot, so he did not find Jack. Puzzled, the giant sat down and put the goose in front of him on the table.
Lay me an egg.
Then right before Jack's eyes, an amazing thing happened. The goose laid a golden egg. The giant scooped it up and roared.
Good, make me more gold.
After a while, the giant fell asleep and snored so loud that, now the dish is on the table, rattle. Thank you. This is my chance, thought Jack. If I can get that goose, Mother and I will never want for anything ever again. Quietly, Jack tippy-toed across the table, grabbed the goose right from the sleeping giant's nose. Then he jumped down off the table and raced for the door. Just as Jack opened the door, the startled goose let out a honk.
My goose son has stolen my goose.
And he jumped up and ran after Jack. Keep going, keep going, keep going. All the way to the chair. Now the giant's legs were very long, but Jack could run very fast. And with a giant chasing him, he could run even faster. He raced to the beanstalk and climbed down before the giant could catch him. When Jack reached the ground, he looked up and saw the giant's revolved until at last the beanstalk toppled to the earth with a tremendous crash. Without the beanstalk, the giant could not get down, and Jack and the goose were safe. Jack's mother was delighted when she saw the wonderful golden eggs the goose could lay. With the gold from the eggs, Jack and his mother could buy everything they needed, and they never wanted for anything ever again. All right,
Don't let me down. You let me down for that. Come on, you let me down. Let me down. Come on.